So, around the time of last year, I'm pretty sure many people may or may not know, Soldier Boy decided that he would make a comeback and would enter the gaming industry with making new consoles, or just having consoles with his name on it, making a new brand. And in all honesty, this was something which kind of caused him to get some popularity again. It was something that was trending in a lot of news outlets, and it was something that sure gained a lot of people's attention. But in the oncoming month or so that it happened, I can say that this stuff failed so miserably. And it has to be one of those scams that have to be so interesting, mainly due to how horrible it all went down. Not saying that, I don't know, there was massive bloodshed or there were employees that weren't getting proper pay or something. I'm saying that this scam was so poorly done with how the consoles or with how the branding was, and considering about how everything was just so poorly done by the time. So today we're going to be discussing that, and I hope you all enjoy. Now, it all started when Soldier Boy decided to go make an announcement about his comeback and decided to go jump into the gaming industry so he could try and start up a new brand or try and take on the consoles at the time with something new one by one. Now, this may sound rather very smart to some individuals or somehow inspirational to the people that were defending him, and the few select people that do, unironically, or this could sound very stupid, especially coming from someone which is a rapper, which has no idea about how complicated the industry of gaming is, especially with deadlines and all the other complications that come on with it within itself. So, how about we actually get into the game consoles, which is actually the interesting part.
USB to DC plug. The thing about this is there is no power adapter. That's right, it does not come with a brick of any kind. You have to provide your own. So for $200 selling a system that doesn't have a power brick, even at $80 that feels like a lot, although maybe they're just going with the PlayStation Cloud.
That, but a lot of people looked into it, and judging from the website, it looks like it's just a sketchy low-end ROM console. It's something you get on like AliExpress or the dollar store or something. And yep, turns out basically he's just reselling a cheap emulator console like it's his own. It's a ROM console sporting hundreds and hundreds of games, and he's promoting it this way. And you know,
so let's take a look. I'm getting over some really bad sickness, man. I was out of commission for a couple days, and this is really gonna make me feel better. So we might as well do it. Ultra 4K, what? Little instruction manual, we don't need that crap. Wow, here's our Xbox. This thing like weighs less than a bag of chips. The hell?
So yeah, those were Soldier Boy's consoles, obscure garbage that was made from China, which were just emulation machines and stuff which literally was just having his name plastered onto it simply so he could get the money from it and for nothing more really. Yeah, these consoles weren't really all that good, and they also came along with a few other problems. I would search for those videos, but I feel like this video would have come out longer if I were to go through an endless stream or endless abyss of videos talking about this console. And if you remember John Tron's video about those plug-and-play games, that's an accurate representation about what these games are. Just a bunch of games which really are just copyrighted, or stuff which are not copyrighted, and, stuff which is just on there, and, just products which aren't really all that worth it. If you want to play Super Mario Bros. Or Sonic, grab a DS, grab the Sonic collection, or grab the Mario collection, whatever the fuck's on the DS, and go play that. Grab a Nintendo Switch, go on a PC, and go get it. Don't pay up to $200 or more, possibly, simply so you can get some off-brand garbage, which isn't even worth it at the end of the day. Because that's what Soldier Boy was selling. Off-brand garbage and advertising them as if they were something new. He even said stuff, or the products even said stuff like, oh, look at this. This Soldier game console is going to get Smash Bros. Ultimate. And yeah, it was horrible. These consoles have the quality of what your grandma would get when she's attempting to look at the store for something to get you for Christmas or for your own birthday and innocently, accidentally getting the wrong thing. And you know what? It's just pretty shameful knowing that this is what we had to go through. And it's really ironic about how people were actually defending Soulja Boy, thinking that he was some smart person or some great entrepreneur for literally selling a product that was complete and utter garbage, and which is being falsely advertised on a scale to where it's pretty illegal. And to talk about legal issues, I think this is the part where I actually talk about Nintendo and the fact that they pretty much warned him and basically sued him over the fact that he had their products being sold without a license and for a lot of money actually, and with him not actually giving a care about it. And the thing is that when many people were actually talking about the console and how it played, many of them brought up about how this console had a lot of Nintendo's stuff on it. And Soldier Boy, in response to this, said, "Oh, fuck Nintendo, no one's gonna do anything about it." And not so long after, Nintendo made a lawsuit after him. Sorry that I wasn't able to find anything, but from what I could assume, they won, as his consoles are literally not being sold anymore, at least on his own site, considering the fact that his consoles aren't even on the site anymore, and that if you even tried to go there, you're literally just gonna be redirected to Nintendo, from what I've heard. And also, I gotta say this, the fact that he went this far to the point where he literally was oblivious to the fact that Nintendo was a pretty huge company and that they do not get around to something, which is just kind of surprising. I thought that someone like him would even know that, knowing Nintendo, they would be the first people to go at him and literally give him the warning to even say that you shouldn't be selling something that isn't yours, especially for like $200 to $300 or whatever the hell. And I gotta say this. In conclusion, I feel like this is the product of what happens when you attempt at selling something, but at the same time have no idea what you're doing. Maybe Soulja Boy had an idea or had a good concept of, oh yeah, I'm gonna join the gaming industry and do this and do that. But the gaming industry is so complicated because it has so many things about it which you need to take into mind before even thinking about it. If you're gonna be a designer, you gotta know coding and a lot of other stuff like that. You gotta know marketing, you gotta know copyright and many other things before you can even think about possibly joining. And it takes years and years of work before you could even get your chance to even possibly get known out there. And yes, just because he's a rapper doesn't mean that he could just jump in and apparently just overtake it. Sony and Microsoft aren't going to be easily taken down by some rapper which was known at one point in time. I don't think anyone would really care for that matter of fact. And I believe that's the reason why he kind of failed with his consoles. He tried going above his boundary, or he tried jumping into a different field which he clearly had no idea of, and in the end result, he kind of just failed with it. Yes, there was an attempt, but at the end of the day, that attempt was so horribly done to the point where it practically screwed him over in a way where he pretty much had everything that he worked for gone before he even had a chance out there. And just to remind you, I think this happened less than a month. So I think this teaches us an honest lesson, kiddos. If you're gonna try and sell a product, first of all, know what you're doing, and second of all, don't try messing with Nintendo, because they're the people to literally nuke you down if you even have a little bit of their copyrighted content of something which you're literally trying to use for a quote-unquote fair use. Nintendo does not fuck around. So that was the end of the video, folks. I hope you enjoyed. That's all. Lowell360 out, and I will see you in another video coming soon, folks. Later.